Hey friends, welcome back. This lesson is titled, Everything Exists at Once. If you get this principle, if you can experientially tune into the reality of the fact, the existential fact that everything imaginable and more than you can imagine, everything that can ever exist, already exists, all at once, simultaneously, contained within a single timeless moment, which we access from our linear time point of view as the now. The now is not, as we've discussed before in Enlightenment 1, it's not actually a thin slice of time in between the past and the future. It is all comprehensive. It is all inclusive. It is time inclusive as well as time transcendent. So the now is actually the only moment in existence. There is no other moment in existence than the now. This implies that everything that can exist, and as we've discussed before, therefore does exist, has to exist when? Right now. All at once. So let this be your mantra for this lesson and for the next few days. Everything exists at once. Everything exists at once. Everything exists simultaneously at once. There is only one moment and everything exists right now. Everything exists right here and now. I'll explain a little bit as to how this is possible and how you can imagine that this is working from a universal point of view. So take the all that is awareness, the all that is consciousness. So take the absolute level of awareness. So this is not to be mistaken with the absolute, the one infinity. It is awareness. We're talking about awareness, but the absolute level of awareness, meaning awareness at its most original state, where it is actually aware of all realities simultaneously, of all possibilities made manifest simultaneously, of all possibilities experienced simultaneously. So this all that is awareness, or all that is consciousness, is therefore literally aware of all that is, of everything that exists. How can this be? Because obviously, clearly, we only perceive this moment right now. All you experience is me speaking to you through this video or through the audio. However, there are infinite, endless, simultaneous configurations of energy, configurations of love light, configurations, frequencies of presence energy that are possible. But not only possible, they exist, they are also manifest simultaneously on alternate, parallel, simultaneous slices or pictures or snapshots of existence. So quite literally, you have to think here in terms of parallel realities. And I'll include another video in this lesson where it's a session of me where I explain in depth the structure of parallel realities, so you can dive a little deeper into that concept. For the purpose of this video, I'll keep the idea of parallel realities quite brief and focus on the aspect that everything exists all at once. But basically what this implies is the existence of parallel realities. That's the only way that everything can exist all at once. It can only exist all at once if there is infinite parallel realities. And that from the level of all that is consciousness, from the level of the awareness, the absolute level of awareness, which is then aware of everything that exists all at once, from that awareness's point of view, it, in a sense, if you can imagine this, perceives every possible reality at the same time. It is aware of it all simultaneously at once. This means that what you call future, all that is awareness, is already aware of any potential what to you is still future, but to it is simply another simultaneous reality. It is actually aware of that right now. So imagine this as snapshots or slices that all coexist simultaneously on different frequency levels within the same timeless here and now moment. Start to recognize that the now, the here and the now, is actually a continuous experience of now, within which there is no actual, there's continuity, but there is no actual continuity in the linear sense. The time does not actually apply to the now space itself. It only applies to the content that is being projected inside of this now space, inside of the now space of consciousness. The now is synonymous with consciousness itself. Consciousness is the now. Consciousness is the mother of all time, of all experience, of all reality. And it is this consciousness that experiences one slice of reality at a time. So it chooses to generate the experience of time by projecting its consciousness through your particular I am consciousness, through your particular individuation, your particular soul of consciousness, onto one particular configuration of energy, one potential configuration of energy, one possibility of energy, etc., etc., etc. And so every moment still contained within the timeless now, within which time does not really exist. It is only projected as such. But structurally, again, time does not exist in the all that is now. Because all that is all that is already. And if all that is already all that is, there is no movement on the absolute level of awareness. There is no change. There is simply simultaneous awareness of any potential change that could ever happen or has already happened. And from its own point of view, everything has already happened. But again, your soul consciousness, your I am consciousness, chooses to, in a sense, project its projector light through one image at a time, so that onto the movie screen of the now, the screen being the now, you see one possible configuration of reality, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, we as human beings tend to make the mistake to then believe and think that just because I'm aware of this moment now, it means that this configuration of energy that I'm perceiving, this particular reality, signifies or defines the now, and anything that I don't experience right now signifies past or future. From the consciousness point of view, from the timeless point of view, this is not true. Just because one particular individuation of the all that is consciousness, in this case you, your I am consciousness, just because that I am consciousness chooses to project itself, its own light, its manifest light, its frequency, its state of being, into one particular imagery, one particular possible configuration of reality, that does not mean, to the level of all that is, that this experience that is experienced now actually defines the now. From the point of view of consciousness, the now is simply the space that holds all realities, but you can then choose, from out of all these realities, you can then choose one slice at a time. This is how we generate a linear time-space creation experience. This is how we generate the human experience. This is how we create literally our timeline that is unique to our subjective I am consciousness. But we choose, we pick and choose our consciousness through frequency, through vibration, through its vibratory state. I'll get into that in later lessons, law of attraction. But through its vibratory state, it picks and chooses what image, what configuration of reality it is now going to experience. And so it chooses out of everything that already exists, out of all the possibilities, out of all the potential configurations of reality, it simply chooses one frame at a time. Therefore, to its own subjective point of view, it seems like there is a timeline, there's a beginning and an end and a middle. But you have to realize that from the point of view of the realities that you're choosing, nothing ever changes. A single reality, meaning a single snapshot, a single configuration of the universe, exists as its own timeless, ever-present, now already existent creation. It never changes. In that sense, each reality is actually completely 100% motionless and static, like a picture. That is one configuration of reality, one configuration of the universe. Now, if that configuration of the universe slightly changes, it is not that the reality itself changes, it's that you're actually aware of an alternate parallel reality that looks similar but slightly different. A few things have changed, but they have not changed from one image, from that one image. They haven't changed in that one image. Nothing changes inside of one image. You can only shift images. You cannot take one image and inside of that image change things around. Just like when you look at a physical picture, you cannot just move the person from location A to location B. You would actually have to take another picture of the person being in a different space. Now then you can take picture A, hold it in front of your eyes, then picture B, then picture C, then picture D, then picture E, then picture F, then picture G, etc. Where you have physically or existentially chosen a different, alternate, parallel configuration of that setting, of that scenario, of those people in that picture, and taken a snapshot of them. So every reality is like this. It's like a picture, it's like a slice, it's like a snapshot. It's its own complete 100% static reality configuration. Motion, movement, change, evolution all happens because consciousness, the I am consciousness that you are, chooses through vibration, through relevance, through experience, to change its state of being and therefore project different images or activate different potential configurations of reality onto its own screen of I am conscious and I am experiencing something right now.